Mr. President, it's our great honor to have you here with us again. Thanks
Great
for
pleasure.
being here. Okay, you've awarded the Chinese people with the Olympic Cup yesterday in IOC's session in recognition for their support for the Beijing 2022 Games. And we did see that Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics has drawn an unprecedented attention globally and successfully in promoting the new Olympic motto. Makes people all around the world have a better standing on the human community with a shared future. And let me share with you a newly published survey from Pew Research Center that over 90% of US adults have heard little or even nothing about the diplomatic boycott of Beijing 2022 Games here. So, Mr. President, from your perspective, what legacy would you expect that Beijing 2022 Games bring to the world?
There will be, first of all, the legacy of a new global winter sport. Winter sport will fundamentally change after these Olympic Winter Games Beijing 2022, with the engagement of more than 300 million Chinese people in winter sports. This is an amazing figure, and it offers a huge potential for the winter sports and for the international winter sports federations, and I'm very happy to hear that many have already reached agreements with their Chinese counterparts to follow up and to make this really a sustainable boom and not just an Olympic boom.
Mm-hmm. You've already mentioned the number of 300 million people in winter sports, and by hosting Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics, China has met the commitment of engaging 300 million people in winter sports proposed by President Xi Jinping. And as you mentioned in the press conference, that China could even strive to engage more people in winter sports in the future, for example, 500 million, which is an extraordinary number. So what do you think that Beijing 2022 Games will bring to the Chinese people regarding their passion for winter sports, the industry and their lifestyle?
I have heard this rumor about the new goal of 500 million. And I think I know my Chinese friends pretty well. So I think this rumor has a good base. It reflects the ambition and dynamism of the development of sport here in China. It will be a change, a fundamental change for the lifestyle of the people in China, because more physical activity, more sports means better health, means more well-being, means not only better physical health, but also mental health. And this is what we have seen extremely important during the pandemic. The mental health, where physical activity helps people to address the restrictions which come with the pandemic. There will be the social effects that you will see the younger generation getting closer together, getting familiar with the values of sport. That means respecting rules, learning to move in a team, exploring your own limits, and sometimes even get over your own limits. And for the industry, again, it will be a game changer because the perspective and the forecast is that the Chinese winter sport industry will by 2025 reach a value of more than $150 billion. Okay, in China, the numbers are always a little bit bigger than in the rest of the world, but I think this is even for China a remarkable perspective and achievement.
Mm-hmm. You know, Mr. President, this time the Chinese athletes has made some huge breakthrough here in Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics by winning the best ever result in one single edition of Winter Olympics. So what is your evaluation on the entire performance of Team China, and what impact do you think this great performance will bring to the future development of China's winter sports?
It was exciting to see, and I had the privilege of being present at the first gold medal being won by Eileen Gu with a big air, and I was present at the last one last night at the figures skating pairs. And there you could feel the enthusiasm of the people. You could feel the enthusiasm of the athletes. And they will be great role models, not only for the future of winter sports, but for the future of sports in China. Because we see all across the world that it's the athletes, the role models who are inspiring all generations to play sports, to follow sports. And so you have a great potential with these new medal winners and Olympic athletes who will do their job as great ambassadors of Olympic sports and the Olympic values.
Mm-hmm. You know, Mr. President, we have seen a tremendous broadcasting ratings for CMG's coverage on Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. Let me share with you a figure. Up till February the 17th, that's 3 days to the closing ceremony, we have a total viewing number on CMG's coverage of Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics reaching a total of over 48.4 billion, which is better and higher than the entire Tokyo 2020. So with the games approaching the end, can you share with us your opinion and comment on CMG's coverage on Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics?
CMG's coverage is unprecedented and has an unprecedented success, as you have just been explaining. And we see it on all platforms, that CMG really managed to make the Chinese people even more enthusiastic about the games that they already were, and that they were sharing these Olympic Winter Games with their communities. Mm-hmm. That's a great success, which we of course appreciate very much in the IOC, because it is spreading the Olympic spirit, the Olympic values across China. But we are also grateful for CMG and CCTV to make a contribution to our productions through OBS, where your colleagues also delivered great results and added to the overall very well received TV coverage of these games worldwide.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for appreciation. It's our pleasure. And as you mentioned, we have a close collaboration with IOC on the production of international feed. And days ago, you just awarded Mr. Sheng Haixiong, the president of CMG, the President's Trophy from IOC in recognition for CMG's achievements and promoting Olympism here in China and globally. And also that's a long-standing friendship and partnership with the IOC and CMG. This time we have collaborated closely with the OBS on the international feed and also the coverage and broadcasting for Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. And also we have a close cooperation with the General Administration of Sports of China. For example, on the event of Dragon Boat, which is a potential candidate for future Olympic Games, we hope. So from your perspective, in your opinion, in what fields can we carry out future cooperation, between IOC and CMG?
I think you do not expect a comment from me now about Dragon Boat in the Olympic Games. But I think we have the potential to go from strength to strength, and in particular with regard to the Olympic channel, CCTV 16. Because this Olympic channel is offering to tap on the potential I've just been mentioning, with the athletes as role models, to tell their stories, to get their stories across to more and more Chinese people, to tap on the potential which we have in our archives, to remember people of the great Olympic Games 2008 in Beijing, to have reporting about many national and international sports events, and give a lot of the background of these events. There I think we have really a wonderful potential, and we will work on this. And there are other areas like some of the breakthrough technologies. CMG and CCTV have been demonstrating here with the 8K, for instance, and other newest developments. And I guess that this will continue, and we will be happy to share our experience in broadcasting with China and to learn from each other, and in this way together make progress.
We'll look forward to that. And Mr. President, with the Games approaching the end, do you have one most impressive moment about Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics?
There are so many. I will not give one. There were so many emotions also during these games, and there I can maybe come back to your first question, that these Olympic Games have been taken place in a moment of high political tensions across the globe. And there the athletes, they have really demonstrated a great Olympic spirit here, and they have been ambassadors for friendship and understanding and peace. When I see Ukrainian and Russian athletes embracing each other here, when I see the Chinese athletes offering their US competitors a pin set and showing their hospitality, when I see American athletes exchanging high fives at the opening ceremony with some of the Chinese volunteers, and so many more, that this is really a great display of the Olympic spirit and of the mission of the Olympic Games to be beyond any political disputes.
Yes, that's the beauty and the meaning of Olympic Games. So thank you very much, Mr. President. Thanks for your time and wish you every success. Thank you.
谢谢。
谢谢。